I'd like to welcome Chip McDaniel to the interview room here at the Barbasol Championship this year. Chip had a tough route to get here. You had the Monday qualify, but before that you had to pre-qualify. What's that experience been like for you this last few weeks trying to get into this tournament?
Yeah, so I've done that before. Played a pre-Q, got through a Monday. We were just sitting at local taco with a kid on an unofficial visit, and he asked me if I was playing in anything, and I was like, hey, Coach Todd, you care if I try to qualify for the Barbasol? He's like, yeah, go for it. I don't know if he expected me to get through or not, but I had the week off on the recruiting trail this week, so maybe he did, but I'm just excited to be here, and yeah.
I was going to say, as the assistant coach at UK, getting the time away to play in this event, I guess, is a bonus. But thinking about going to the qualifier just because it's in your hometown, I mean, was that the incentive to do that?
Yeah, for sure. So I actually live at the golf course that the Monday qualifier was at. I don't play it that often, but I do play it occasionally. It's really comfortable. It's a good track for me. It's kind of short and kind of tight. You kind of have to play chess around. You kind of have to plod your way around the golf course. And I just went into it with not a lot of expectations and just tried to hit good shots and play the way that I play. And they had the greens were faster than normal. Pins were in some tough spots for a Monday, so I think it just all kind of played in my favor. I actually played with a kid that's going to be a senior on my team this year, so it was just really comfortable, and I think that helped.
How's the recruiting process been, coming up for the season?
It's been really busy, but it's been really good. There's a lot of excitement around Kentucky golf right now, which is good. Coach Todd has kind of helped me along with that this year. It's been really good. It's been something that was kind of much needed for the program, for the state, and we're both really excited about the future.
This will be your third start at the Barbasol. It's not like you haven't played a lot before. You've played on the Korn Ferry and a handful of events on the PGA Tour as well. What do you anticipate here this week, and how does this golf course fit your eye?
Well, I actually played here a bunch in college and was a member here for a little bit while I was playing. And it's a great golf course. It's in fantastic shape right now. It's firm and fast, which helps me out. Some guys have to hit hybrids and irons off tees where I don't even have to think about it. I can sit driver. I hope for this tournament and for this golf course the rain holds off, because I think we all know that Barbasol week is usually associated with rain. But other than Thursday, the forecast looks pretty good, so fingers crossed for Thursday. More so for this tournament than my own game, because my expectations this week are just to represent Kentucky, the university, and the state as the best that I can.
You spent most of 2019, I guess, chasing the dream, Monday qualifying several times, getting into a few events, including the US Open, making the cut there. What has the transition been like for you to go from chasing that dream, playing, to now being the assistant coach and sort of settling in at home?
The transition has been great. I was still playing with no status, trying to Monday into whatever, mostly Korn Ferry events a couple of years ago, and I just got tired of practicing at home, and I did it for 4 or 5 months that way, and I was just kind of like, it's going to be hard to compete with these guys day in and day out, kind of, for lack of a better term, half-assing it. These guys are really good, and I noticed that yesterday, that their ball sounds a little bit different than mine does now. But it's been really good. I think it's something that I'll enjoy, and especially maybe helping young kids that want to turn pro and kind of telling them the mistakes that I made and then the stuff that worked for me. And the transition's been really good, and I think I have a lot to offer for them.
Yeah, Chip, a few years ago, Cullen Brown, who obviously unfortunately passed away, but he meant so much to this area, and then also the impact that he had at this golf tournament, not only on players, on caddies, but on tour staff and everyone. Did you know Cullen? What's your recollections of him, especially now that you're an assistant?
Yeah, so Cullen was a recruit when I was on the team, I think he came in the year after I left. But man, everybody knew Cullen. Like, you know, it didn't matter if you were 6 years old or if you were 76 years old. It didn't matter where you were from in the state. Everybody knew Cullen. He was obviously a heck of a golfer, but like, he was just an incredible human being, more than anything. And just a quick story: we were down at the Dye Preserve for a little winter break trip, not associated with the team, just friends and family of the program. And we were trying to play 36 every day, and one day he didn't play the afternoon 18 because he was preparing to grill steaks for everybody for dinner. And you know, he was just a special guy, man. Like, you know, it's obviously very sad what happened to him, but you know, I don't think anybody in the state's forgotten about Cullen Brown. I'll say that.
Chip, I want to take you back to the Punta Cana event 2019. You shot 63 in the final round, finished top 5, made 10 birdies that day. What do you remember about that day? It's your lowest round on tour. What do you remember about that day, and what sort of stands out to you when you think back to that day?
Well, I don't remember much from that day. I was kind of in the zone. I do remember a good friend of mine was caddying for me, and we were on like hole 14, or I think it was hole 15. I just missed a birdie putt on 14 and then made a birdie putt on 15, and there was a leaderboard right there on 16T, and we both kind of looked like, oh gosh, we're like at the time, you know, we teed off early, so we were like up at the lead. I mean, we knew guys were going to pass us, and then you know, from there on, it was just kind of like resetting and just finishing the round the right way. I think I finished the last 3 1 under or something like that. But you know, looking back on it now, I just remember I just absolutely flushed it. Like, I didn't miss a shot. And you know, you kind of think about days like that when you're in the position I am of not playing as much as you normally do. And you know, you just try to remember shots and days like that.
Yeah, and this leads to my next question. What sort of form are you in now, and how do you recapture that if there's a way to do that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I was kind of surprised this week at how flush I was hitting it. You know, again, it's going to be a real comfortable pairing. My caddy is my old boss at Eastern Kentucky. He's a member out here. He plays out here. He just qualified for the USAM.
What's his name?
Justin Teresco. So he actually coached Matty Schmid at Louisville, and then obviously everybody knows Teeter, but I'm really good friends with Teeter. So it'll be a real good, comfortable pairing. And you know, yesterday I was kind of in the practice round lull, started thinning some shots, just kind of wanted the day to be over. And then I got the pairings on my phone, and you know, got a little bit of energy. So you know, it's tough because I don't play a lot of rounds of golf with adrenaline and energy anymore. So if I can just control that and use that to my advantage, like I mean, my golf swing's been the same for 4 years now. I'm not really worried about that, but you know, if I can just control the adrenaline and use it in a good way, I think I'll be fine.
And just finally, how have you had to juggle scheduling this week with your full-time job, and secondly, what sort of support do you anticipate out here this week at the Barbasol?
Yeah, so I'm very thankful for my new boss, Coach Todd. You know, he's very supportive in me qualifying for this. We had planned to have this week off anyway. You know, he's down at the Bubba Conley right now recruiting and stuff like that. But you know, I feel like the support from the community is gonna be tremendous, especially playing with Teeter and hopefully with better weather. I mean, fingers crossed, because this tournament, this golf course, and this state deserves a Barbasol week with no rain.
Well, we wish you all the best, and thanks for some time with us today.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.